Fill episodes. Let's talk about it and let me tell you why they don't exist. My name is Hannah and this is the Race Side, and today, of course, we're talking about filler episodes. And very topical to the currently streaming The Bad Batch Season 2, this has been a hot topic in the Star Wars fandom, the idea of a filler episode, because let's be honest, this season has been full of them. Filled of them, if you will, even. So let's talk about it. I have some thoughts and I want to open some discussions about it. Now, people define a filler episode that is an episode that doesn't really pertain much information or purpose to the main storyline of the show. Now, this is pretty prevalent in this current Bad Batch season. From the time of filming this episode, or this video, it is currently episode 10 of season 2 of the Bad Batch, and I think we've had about 5 out of the 10 that could be deemed as filler. Now, what I want to talk about is that filler isn't in itself a negative thing. It's not an insult. It's not a putting down of something. If something's filler, that's not inherently wrong yet. You have to add something to what type of filler it is. So I'm a massive Clone Wars fan. I grew up in the Clone Wars, watched all of it 100 times over, at least every episode, and I think majority of that show is filler. But I adore it with all my heart and I rewatch it all the time. But really it is filler because as much as the Clone Wars has this through line of connecting episode 2 to episode 3 and the stories in between, the stories we have in the Clone Wars, the episodes we have in Clone Wars are filler episodes. They're filling that time. They're filling those stories. Now, of course, I make the argument, and a lot of other fans make the argument, that this is pretty incredible storytelling and this is pretty incredible filler. We get amazing characters like Captain Rex, Ahsoka Tano. We get deep stories about them and their character development, and even a lot more on Obi-Wan and also Anakin. We get heaps more background on who they are, how they think, and how they feel. So even though I adore the Clone Wars, I would pretty much consider all the episodes filler. They're just really well-written filler. Of course, I have more favorite arcs and episodes than others, but I really think most of this show, all the 7 seasons of it, are fantastically written and really good Star Wars filler. Now, to define if something is good filler or bad filler, it comes more down to subjective preference, but it might be what you get out of the episode. So it might be, do you learn something from it? Do we learn something about the characters from it? How compelling was the character? How compelling was the story? How cool was the action even? So there's a lot of ways you can define what's good or bad. So that's more the conversation we should be having if something's good filler or bad filler, because the idea of something being filler isn't inherently bad. So now comes kind of my just over halfway review of The Bad Batch, if you will, and I will do a full Season 2 review of The Bad Batch when the season ends. But at this point, this is a little too much bad filler for me. I wouldn't say I dislike the episodes, but there are definitely a few episodes throughout this season that I just don't find myself wanting to rewatch. Whereas we get the episodes with, the 2 episodes with Chuchi. The amazing. I love Clone Wars. What a random Clone Wars character to bring back in, and her involvement with the Senate, that's all filler. It's just filler, but that to me personally, that's really good filler. But we have other episodes that weren't so good filler to me. So define the filler episodes that you don't like and you do like, and then talk about that. And you can just talk about, hey, I didn't like that episode, or I really do like that episode. It's kind of hard from one person's point of view to change something completely on the internet, but I just want to challenge you to think about that. If you're one of those people that goes, I didn't like it, it was filler, try and add some other adjectives to that filler word, because that will make a little bit more sense, I think. Clone Wars was very much a filler. George made that himself to be filler in between those 2 movies. And Bad Batch is the filler in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, or Revenge of the Sith and Rebels, really. Again, Rebels, that's filler. Those are filler stories, and whether you like it or not is up to you. So I'll be interested to see if anyone challenges me on this, because I'm not actually trying to say you're wrong. I'm just saying add to what you're saying, because filler isn't a bad word. Let's try and change that. Just use some adjectives behind or before or after the word filler to try and describe an episode that you either really love or really don't like. It happens in all the animation like Bad Batch currently airing, and it happens in live action too. So food for thought, bit of Star Wars food for thought for your day today. Hope you enjoy. My name is Hannah, and always choose the race side.